In about 6 billion years, the sun will expand enough to engulf both Mercury and Venus. They'll be vaporized. The Earth, however, will probably just barely survive, but will be burned to a crisp. And will be left as a charred clump of coal to orbit the sun for an extremely long time, during which the sun will change from a red giant into a small white dwarf and then a black dwarf. And our crispy ashen chunk of Earth will slowly orbit closer and closer to the black dwarf sun until 100 million billion years from now, tidal gravitational forces will shred the charred Earth into dust, which will slowly sprinkle toward the tiny, dense, dark sun and be absorbed. And that'll be the end of the Earth, the only home we humans have ever known.
The universe will continue without us, of course, and eventually protons themselves may decay, and all planets, stars, gas, and dust will disintegrate and turn into pure radiation, and black holes will dominate the universe until eventually even the black holes will evaporate. And in the end, in some unfathomably long time, longer than the human mind can comprehend, our universe will likely reach a state of maximum entropy and nearly absolute zero temperature, meaning that literally nothing can ever happen in the universe ever again, and will stay that way, possibly for eternity. You will exist for a few dozen years. You may be tempted to conclude that your few dozen years compared to the universe's possibly infinite lifetime are negligible, meaningless, as if the universe doesn't even know you're here. But I like to think of it another way. You and I are not separate from the universe. You and I are parts of the universe. And when you and I ask questions about the universe, like how did everything begin? What are we made of? How does everything around us work? In a sense, we humans are the method by which the universe asks questions about itself. And you and I are gloriously lucky to be able to be curious about the universe and to study it with science. Others aren't so lucky. How will I spend my few dozen years in existence? Will I help others who aren't so fortunate to get the resources they need to also be curious about this universe we share, this universe of which we're all a part, this universe in which you and I are collections of particles that are excitations in the exact same quantum fields?
In a few billion years, we'll all be equal, indistinguishable particles of cosmic ash, as will all of our cities, monuments, experiments, paintings, books, computers. The question is whether I will use my years to fight to dismantle our human systems that lead to the bigotry, inequity, exploitation, and environmental devastation we're experiencing right now, and to construct better systems in their place, or whether I will sit back and let the people who implement and control these systems continue to prevent my fellow humans from fully experiencing this universe we all share. What will you do